Hey guys, this is James from the Mana Surge, and today I will be going over my green aggro ramp deck as a deck tech. So basically the point of this deck is to get as much mana on the field at once, and then basically bring out my gigantic creatures and finish off your opponent. Alright, so first up, let's go for the creatures. I have two Elder Scale Worms, which are, let me grab one. It's a 7/7 trample, and when it enters the battlefield, if your life total is less than 7, your life total becomes 7, and as long as you have 7 or more life, damage that would reduce your life total to 7 to less than 7 reduces it to 7 instead. Basically, this guy keeps you alive, even if you're not pulling the mana you need, which is what the rest of the creatures are for. Next up, I have two World Spine Worms. These are the big creatures in the deck, because they cost 11 mana, as you can see. This has 15/15 with Trample, and when it dies, I get 3 5/5 green worm tokens with Trample, and whenever it's put into a graveyard, I shovel it back in my deck. So basically, I can keep pulling this guy over and over again, and he's just a gigantic threat. Next up, I have two Elvish Mystics, simple 1 mana, and they tap for 1 mana, just to add mana to my mana pool right away. Green Weaver Druid, they're kind of like Elvish Mystic, except they tap for 2 green mana, which just helps with my mana pool. Woodborn Behemoth, this guy, when you have 8 lands, he becomes an 8/8 with Trample, which I also have a lot of land fetch in this deck, as you'll be seeing soon. Two Mono War Elves, they're pretty much the same thing as Elvish Mystics, they're just a little bit older. And then 4 Birds of Paradise. These guys, they cost 1 green, and if you tap them, you get 1 mana of any color to your pool. Planeswalkers, I only have Garruk Primal Hunter in this deck. I get 3/3 Beasts easily. I don't really use the drawing effect that much, but the -6 is what I use. I put a 6/6 green worm for each land I control onto the battlefield. And this deck's a lot of land fetch, so I'll be getting a lot of worms. Now onto the spells. I have 2 Giant Growths. These guys just kind of pump up my trample creatures, make me do more trample damage. Explore. I can play an additional land this turn, and I get to draw a card. So not only can I play a land this turn, but I get to play 2 lands this turn, and I get to draw a card. Titanic Growth, same thing as Giant Growth, except it's a little bit bigger, and it costs 1 more mana. These are basically just to pump up my trample creatures. Verdant Haven. This card, I can enchant a land. First off, I get 2 life from it, and then whenever I tap it for mana, I add 1 mana of any color, as well as the mana that the land gives. Just helps me get mana quickly. Enlarge. This is basically if I have, say, like a little bit of a weaker creature, like Woodborn Behemoth, or if I really want to screw them with trample damage. First off, it costs 5, I know, but that's why I have a lot of mana acceleration. But it gets +7/+7 for the target creature, and that creature gains trample, and it must be blocked. So that kind of messes with an opponent's strategy over time. I have 4 Prey Upons. The reason I have Prey Upons, if I get a giant creature out, I can make a creature fight a creature that I don't control. So I can basically get rid of some really annoying creatures that they just keep using abilities for. Or if I just want to get to their defenses, I want to get through their defenses faster. I also have Harrow. As an additional cost to cast Harrow, I sacrifice the land. So I'm basically getting rid of the land, but then I get 2 untapped lands on my battlefield, which is always nice. I also have Cultivate. I can search my library for up to 2 basic lands, reveal them, put 1 on the battlefield tapped and 1 in my hand, which just helps me get lands faster. And then Rampant Growth, kind of like a mini version of Cultivate, except I only get to put the land on the battlefield tapped. And then I just have my 20 basic forests. I don't really have any non-basic lands in this deck, just for the purpose of I don't run 2 colors. And then to go with my Garruk, I have a Beast token, which I'll just put a D20 over. And then I have my homemade 6/6 worm token. It's beautiful, I know. Yep, so guys, that's it for my green aggro ramp deck tech. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a comment, like, favorite, subscribe, and hope you guys are enjoying our videos. Thanks.